Another day, another dollar. Another day, another dollar, man. Going to talk to a basketball team today. They got a big game tomorrow. Definitely going to talk to them about not making it about the opponent, even if you feel like you're an underdog, but also like the importance of taking advantage of an opportunity. This past weekend, I lost one of my friends that I played ball against in high school. And he was just on like this path of chasing his dreams and playing professional. And like he had just gotten a chance to sign his professional contract, man. He lost his life to gun violence a couple of days ago. So it's just kind of perspective. In life, we always feel like we're entitled to different things. And Inky Johnson once said this. He said like one of the biggest things that we take for granted is walking out the house and just expecting that we're gonna come back home safely, you know, because that's never guaranteed, you know, God willing. But yeah, I want these guys to really understand that every time they got an opportunity to play this game, they got to take advantage of it, because they never know when it's gonna be that last time that they get a chance to lace up them shoes in their instance and just play the game.
That we try to speak and uplift in young men like yourself, and this is it.
Appreciate you, team. Appreciate you. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Good afternoon. Come on, man. Y'all breathing. Y'all alive. Somebody ain't wake up this morning, man. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I don't think y'all understand, man. Look, somebody took their last breath today, and you sitting there, you still breathing, doing what you love to do. Say good afternoon. Good afternoon. Appreciate you, man. It's my understanding from Coach Rose, man. Appreciate him for bringing me in here. As a former player, I know a coach just doesn't let anybody talk to his players, you know what I mean? So the fact that he told me to come here and talk to y'all, I don't take that for granted. I don't take that lightly. I want to make sure that this is worth your time. It's my understanding that y'all got a big game tomorrow. Who y'all play? Briarcrest. They're pretty good this year? I don't really care about it, right? I don't care about the opponent. I've never made it about the opponent. I don't care who we playing. I don't care if it's the number one team in the state, worst team in the city. It don't mean nothing to me. What matters is the fact that y'all got an opportunity, right? Y'all got an opportunity that people will kill for, an opportunity that some people never even been in your shoes to play high school basketball. And y'all got another one tomorrow, right? Man, it's crazy. This guy that I used to play against in high school went to one of our rival schools, super competitive, man, probably approached the game better than anybody I've ever seen before. Played with so much passion, aggression, love playing with him. Even beyond high school, we kept in touch, kept talking while I was at college. He was in college, man. He just had this dream of going to play professional. And his route was a little different than mine. He went to a JUCO, went to a D2 school, played in a arena football league, and then finally this past season, he signed a professional contract with his mom as his agent. He finally made his dream come true. Well, just the other night, Friday night, man, he was down here in the Memphis area, 25 years old, just had his birthday 5 days ago, shot and killed. 25 years old, man, shot and killed. And so when I tell y'all that y'all have an opportunity, when I say that you get a chance to do something that people would kill to do, that people will have just one more chance to do, it's important to me that y'all don't take that lightly. The worst thing you can do in life is feel like you're entitled to something. You know what I'm saying? To feel like you're entitled to play this game. Your parents put you in a position, you've been blessed with these skills from God to play this game of basketball. Don't take that for granted, man. Because when I discovered that news that my boy had just lost his life after he had just achieved his dreams, just signed his professional contract, lost his life to gun violence, man. I almost felt like that's not fair, right? Mama always said that life ain't fair. That's true. That's real. Because it's going to come in life. It's going to come a time in life where it doesn't matter if you stop playing at the high school, college, or even blessed to play professionally. This game has an expiration date, fellas. So what are you going to do with your opportunity while it's here? What are you going to do every time you get a chance to step on the court? What are you going to do? You're going to take advantage of it? You're just going to show up and check the box and be like, all right, we got another game. Or we got another practice. Or we got next year. Or I'm playing in college. High school don't matter. Fellas, the game can be over like this. You could be playing the game, God forbid, and you get a season-ending injury. Then you're going to be with the what if. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. I can't tell you how many woulda, shoulda, couldas I got in my career, man. And I was blessed enough to get a shot at the professional level in the NFL, less than 2%, right? And it's things I look back on daily. I played the game for 18 years. I look back at things daily. Like, what if I would have taken advantage of that opportunity just a little bit more? What if I didn't take that for granted just a little bit more? That last game I played in college, man, I took my pads off so slow because at the time I didn't think I had the opportunity to play in the NFL. And I'm telling you, it's such a bad feeling when you're taking those pads off for the last time. In your instance, it's going to be untying those shoes for the last time, taking that jersey off for the last time, because you'll never get to be able to do that again, man, ever. You won't have that opportunity anymore. And I say I don't care about the opponent, man, because it's not about the opponent. I'm reminded of a story in the Bible. You had the Philistines and the Israelites, right? The Philistines and the Israelites, they were going to war. You had the Israelites on one hill, Philistines on another hill. There was a valley in between them. Well, the Philistines had this bad man. His name was Goliath, big giant. All the armor on him, had all the equipment, the javelin, the spear, big bad man. And so with the camps on opposite sides, Goliath will come out of the Philistine camp and he'll look to the Israelites and he'll be like, what y'all trying to do? Y'all said y'all came to war, bring your best guy. If he beats me, he kills me, then we'll serve y'all. But if I kill him, y'all got to come serve us. What we going to do? Today is the day that I defy the living God that y'all serve. What we going to do? And every time that the Israelites saw Goliath, he did this for 40 days. He came out of the camp for 40 days. Every time that they saw Goliath, what y'all think happened? They feared him. They were scared. They trembling because they made it about Goliath. They saw Goliath's outward appearance. They didn't think about what they had on their side. They was looking at Goliath. And so when you make it about the opponent, you forget about everything that you have inside. You know what I'm saying? And so when they made it about the opponent, they became fearful. Well, there was another cat in the Bible. His name was David. David wasn't like Goliath. He wasn't this big giant warrior from his youth. David was a little shepherd boy, youngest son of 8. He had 3 older brothers, though. It was one day 3 other brothers fighting with the army with the Israelites. So his dad said one day, hey, go take your brothers some food. They've been out there for 40 days. They're hungry. Go take your brothers some food. David packs the food up. He goes take it to his brother. At this point, they're finally lined up. You know, back then when you used to go to battle, you had one army on one side, the others on the other side, and they're facing each other, right? You just staring each other down. And so David gets to the front to his brothers, and Goliath steps out again. He like, come on, man, I've been talking to y'all for 40 days. Let's get to it. Let's get it cracking. Let's go. Who's your best guy? And David's like, man, who is this cat? To think that he can defy the army of the living God. Who is this guy? What I got to do to fight him? What can I do to fight him? And King Saul overheard him. The king of the Israelites overheard David. And he said, bro, pipe down. He said, you don't know this guy. This guy been a warrior since his youth. You can't do nothing with him. You're just a little shepherd boy. And David said, hold on now. See, those years and those days that I was in that field protecting my father's sheep, it wasn't nobody to save me from the lion. It wasn't nobody to save me from the bear. And so when I snatched my sheep from the hand and the paw and the claw of the lion and the bear, God delivered me from that. The same way that he delivered that from me, he will deliver me from that giant Goliath. You know what I'm saying? David didn't care about Goliath because he stood for something. He stood for a bigger purpose. He understood his preparation. What does Overton High School basketball team stand for? What do you stand for? As an individual, why do you play the game of basketball? Why do you play the game of basketball? Because when you step on a court and you're going against an opponent, they're saying that they can beat you. And not only can they beat you, they're beating what you stand for. So if you play the game for your family and you step on that court to play the game for your family, I take it as disrespect. Every time I play the game of football, I played it for my family back at home. I played it for God. So when I went against an opponent, it's disrespect that you stood here in front of me thinking that you're going to beat me when I stand for something greater than you. David stood for something greater than Goliath. He stood for something greater that those Israelites who got scared, since they focused on the opposition, they forgot what they stood for. You see, David understood the purpose of preparation. Everybody just looked at him as a little shepherd boy. David understood that he was preparing for something bigger. God had a bigger purpose for him. Because when it comes to the game tomorrow, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your preparation. You hear me? And so these preparations that y'all been putting in the off season, these preparations that you've been putting in since you picked up the basketball at the age of 5, playing on the mini hoop and just working up to the 10-foot goal. All of that is preparation for the big moments, fellas. You understand what I'm saying? And so when that moment comes, don't think you got to do anything new. Don't think you got to do anything out of the ordinary. You fall back to your preparation. And that's what David understood. And so when it came time to it for him to face Goliath, all he had to do was pull out them same stones he always carried with him. They tried to give him all the armor with the sword and all that. He said, man, that don't even feel right. I'm not used to that. You see, sometimes we get to the stage and we start putting on the new shoes. We like, this championship game, I need the new kicks. You ain't want a sleeve all year, I'm going to throw the sleeve on. There's more people in the crowd. Stick to the basics. Stick to the preparation. David went against the Goliath, the giant that everybody feared. He took his stone. We all know how the story ends. He slung it. Goliath was stunned, took Goliath's sword, sliced his head off. Sliced his head off. What are you doing with your opportunity? What's your purpose? What is your preparation? What do you stand for? What do you stand for? Why do you play the game? Because that's what matters. Because when you come up against that giant, right? And I face this giant every time I stepped on the football field for the 18 years. And I'm not talking about a person. I'm not talking about an opponent. I'm not talking about the other team. I'm talking about that giant of adversity, that giant of opposition. That giant when you were up 10 and the other team go on a 12-0 run, now you're down. That giant when you played a bad first half, now you're down 20 at halftime. That giant when your shot's not falling, so you got to play defense. That giant when you miss a game-winning shot. That giant when you turn the ball over. That giant when your teammate ain't doing what you're supposed to do. That giant when the coach ain't playing you like you think you should be playing. What are you doing when you face that giant? Adversity, opposition. In those moments, you have to go back to your purpose. You got to go back to your preparation and remember what you stand for. You got to remember what you stand for, because these opportunities don't come every single day, fellas. That opportunity you have tomorrow won't come again in your life. That's the only time you get to play that game. That's it. There's no redos. The only thing you can't create more of in life is time. And so he alluded to my story a little bit, man. I was fortunate to go play in the NFL, but there's a lot of backstory to that, right? My senior year, I was the team captain, coming in, starting over 20 games halfway through the season. My coach calls me into his office. He said, Cam, you ain't starting no more. And so when I speak to you about this opposition, this adversity, I'm not telling you these words because they sound good. I'm telling you because I've walked this walk. I've been the guy on the team that everybody looked to, and I'm on the bench now, right? How do you lead a team when you're not on the field playing? How do you get the stats? How do you get the film when you're not on the field playing? And I didn't play the rest of the season, and then we're playing in the biggest game in college football, Army-Navy, the biggest rivalry game, and I'm watching the final seconds tick off the scoreboard from the sideline. And to some people in the crowd, that was the final seconds ticking off for the game, right, to signal Army's victory. To me, as I was looking at those final seconds tick off the scoreboard, I'm thinking about the 18 years that I played the game of football and the ending like that. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do with it? Because in life, you have where you are, and then you have where you want to be. How many of y'all want to play basketball in college? That's where you want to be, right? So what are you doing daily to get to where you want to be? But in order to do that, you're going to have to overcome these obstacles, right? And so once I realized this is my last college game, there's only one place I can go. Where is that? Where can you keep playing football after college? Professional. NFL, exactly, right? Less than 2%. I'm not all conference. I just lost my starting job as a senior. Do y'all think I got a shot? Heck no. Nobody believed, except for the people close to me, right? I didn't even believe in myself, right? I had to overcome that fear so that I could create that new opportunity. And when the time finally came and I signed my contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Navy said I couldn't go play football, I had to fight the Navy for it. And I finally get back down there and I'm in the locker room with Tom Brady. I'm lining up against Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I'm like, this is what I've been dreaming of since I was 4 years old. I'm like, I'm finally living my dream. I signed a 3-year, $2.1 million contract. I'm like, this is what I dream of, right? And then we play our first preseason game against the Bengals. I go second in tackles with the team. I don't give up no big plays. I'm like, man, I got a shot to make this team, man. We're going to make this happen. Parents came down to the game. I'm taking them to the airport the next morning. They're talking to me. They're telling me they're proud of me, you know what I'm saying? Proud of my growth. They said they'll be there next week to go play against the Titans. I drop them off, kiss them goodbye. I'll see y'all later. I'm going back to the team hotel. I'm on the way to the team hotel. I get a call from the Buccaneers. I'm like, what's going on? Hello? We off on Sunday. I'm like, hello, what's good? They're like, oh, what's good, Cam? What you up to? None. I just took my parents back to the hotel. To the airport. I'm about to go back to the team hotel, you know, get some rest, study the playbook, all that. They said, well, you don't need to do none of that. You are no longer a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. We decided to release you today. And I'm like, bro, what? We're talking less than 12 hours after the game, right? This is a cold cut world. And so when I say you have an opportunity that people will kill for, you have something that you aren't entitled to, right? You get to play this game. Here I am thinking I had another chance at football, right? Another chance to make this team. Little did I know that last time I played, last time I walked off of Raymond James Stadium, walked off the field, unstrapped those pads, put it in my bag, put it in the locker. That was the last time I ever played football again in my life. Not because I'm not capable of playing, the opportunity was just no longer present. And that's why it's so important. Whenever I see people still playing the game that they love, that when they step on that court, they rise up to it and they take advantage and they don't leave anyone else, fellas. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you what I heard. And so I get excited when a coach tells me to come talk to their team about a big game, about a big moment, because these are things that you will never recreate, man. There's nothing like high school sports. If I could go back to any level, I'll go play high school football again. Won't hesitate, won't blink. Won't blink. And I played NFL preseason game, played in college in front of hundreds of thousands of people. But that high school game is different because you get to play with your brothers. You get to play with your community. You get to represent Overton High School. You get to have your family and friends come to the game with ease, right? And so when you step on that court tomorrow, I don't want you thinking about Briarcrest. I don't want you thinking about the people on Briarcrest's roster. their record, the games they won. I want you thinking about everybody that's in the bleachers right here. I want you thinking about your family that's back at home, partners that you've lost, people that you've looked up to. That's what I want you to think about. Why you play the game, man? Because when your purpose and your preparation is greater than what you're up against, you're going to rise above it every single time. And it don't matter what the people in the crowd believe. It don't matter what the newspaper commercial appeal, don't matter what none of them believe. It matters what y'all believe, right? And so if y'all sit together, play together, there's no doubt in my mind that you will become victorious, but you got to make it up in your mind right now, not tomorrow when you're warming up, right now, that you're going to stand for something bigger, not Briarcrest. You're going to stand for something bigger, you know what I'm saying? And play for that reason, play for that passion, make the most of your opportunity, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
That's good. Let's ride the bike. So, man, I want to say I appreciate
your
you,
dog team. Yup. Appreciate
yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, y'all give him another hand. Y'all.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
So, do you go around the world? And,
Working on it, man. We on the come up. That's why I got the camera. My boy Chad got me. We gonna be there one day. Y'all got any questions? Any questions? Life, anything? Yeah, so I'm CK3 The Thrill on everything, Instagram, Twitter. CK.